Mike Wilson with Designer Concrete Coatings, and what we have here is a shower project that we're starting right now, and we're going to make this area here look like an old dam, and then we're going to have a waterfall that falls down here for a bath area for the pets here. And we're going to do epoxy everywhere else on the floor, and then all the way up the walls and everything will be epoxy. And we're also going to epoxy the cement or the countertop here. So this is the beginning of the project, and we'll be keeping you posted as the project continues. Okay, hello, it's me again with Designer Concrete Coatings. We're fixing to start the waterfall that we're going to make here, and what we're going to make the rock out of is a Portland cement sand mixture, also with an acrylic polymer. So we have this mixing pan here, and we're going to put 1-to-1 sand versus Portland with a quick concrete bonding adhesive that gives it strength and flexibility. Once we get the concrete on the wall, we will use a bubble gum release agent, and we spray the wet concrete on the wall, and then we take this latex mat that was poured over a stone. If you can look, it has the texture of a stone. It was poured over a stone in a liquid form and then peeled off. So now we peel that off, and we can use this to press into our wet cement and give the cement the texture of a stone. Then we do some fine coloring, and we should have the finished product for you in just a little bit. We're going to mix the rock mix up. Like I said, it's going to be a 1-to-1 mixture with sand and Portland cement with polymer in here. You'll have to adjust the amount of water that you put in according to the, this sand had a little moisture in it, so you have to keep it about the consistency of real thick pancakes there, or pancake batter. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a little mixing before I add water to it, so that we get the sand and the Portland mixed up together. Then we're going to add a little water. Let's start there and see what we got. Gotta be real careful not to slosh it out. Gotta go real easy with it. Okay, I've got this mixed up already, and if you'll look at the consistency, it's pretty much like a pretty thick peanut butter, and that way it'll stick and go up there. And I think I've got plenty of water in it now. Just a little bit more mixing, and now is the time that you want to add your acrylic polymer. So we're going to add about a quart of acrylic polymer, and then continue mixing this, and that will help with the flexibility and the strength of the cement and the bonding as well. And we're putting this over concrete backer board, the same thing as you would put tile over. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we'll include you on the next step. Okay, hi, it's Mike again with Designer Concrete Coatings, and we've already started putting the mixture on the wall. And what we had to do, we had to measure where these handles were going to fit. And then I made a mark on the back side to make sure that our rock mixture doesn't interfere with the plumbing that we have to put in for our waterfall. So that is one key thing you want to make sure of, that your rock doesn't come out beyond the point that your plumbing is going to fit in. Okay, hi, this is Mike again with Designer Concrete Coatings. We are applying the cement mixture that we mixed up onto the wall itself now. It's gotten to the consistency that it will stick and bond up there. And right now is the time that we want to applying it to the wall. And then as soon as we get done with this, we'll add some little areas where it's higher and lower, and then we'll go ahead and add the texture to it with our latex mat. So we'll continue this and we'll be getting back with you in a minute. What we're doing now is we're adding the final touches to the texture. We had our mud was a little bit wet, so it sagged, so we had to take a short break to let it harden. And all we did is add a little bit of fresh mud to the wall so that we'd have something to texture. So again, we're using the bubblegum release agent and the latex mat, and I'm spraying the wet concrete that we put up. And then all you do is you take the mat and you put pressure on the cement, and you see the texture comes out on the wet concrete. You don't have to be precise with it because no rock has the same texture. Everything is different, so you just texture it where it meets your standards or what you see, and there we have it. We have the texture of a rock. Hello, it's Mike Wilson with Designer Concrete Coatings again. We've previously put our cement mix on the wall, and we've let it dry about an hour and a half to get a good base there, or to let it dry out just enough that we can go back now and carve it prematurely so that the final carving doesn't take as long. If you would like to take and draw it out with chalk, that would be fine. But what I've already started carving here, and I'm going to finish. I generally freehand, and I use the texture to kind of form my rocks to make edges and things. So if you're watching along, I'll kind of give you an idea of how you do this. And I'm doing it with a simple screwdriver. I want a very thin grout line here, so I'm using a pretty narrow screwdriver to scrape away and create grout lines. Okay, so I'm going to start here in the corner where we've done this already. You can see it looks like rocks already. So we're going to start just drawing the outer edge of a rock. And here, we're going to come down. And once we get our rock form shaped, we'll just keep going and taking out the concrete to make a grout line. And we'll go and make it a little wider wherever we want and deeper. We just have to be careful not to get all the way through to the backer board. So we want to make sure we don't go that deep, but we can use the texture to form your edges to make it look more authentic. Okay, this is just the faux finish here, or the highlighting of the rocks. And we just wanted some browns and taupes to go along with the gray. And we just put umber brown universal colorant in a water with the Quikrete bonding agent. And that, I'm gonna color this one just a little more. I want it a little darker. I've been over it one time, but if you go over it and you don't like it and you want it darker or whatever, just go over it again. There's no rhyme or reason. You just keep adding color, and every time you do it, the stones will get a little darker and a little darker each time you do it. So you just kind of play with it to get to where you want it at. As a matter of fact, I want to add a little to this one in the corner here, since it's already showing its lightness. Get it. Okay, and that's how you do your highlight colors. Hello, it's Mike Wilson again with Designer Concrete Coatings. We are putting the final sealer on our rocks and on our grout in our glass tile. So just wanted you to see how this takes shape and what this looks like once you seal it. If you notice that I've got the sealer on all the rocks as well. And we're going to seal these rocks right here behind me. These are the last ones that have not been sealed yet. The sealer's pretty strong, so if you might find that you need to wear a respirator because unless you're in a well ventilated area, it gets a little strong. Okay, now I'm going to move over here to the rocks here so you can see how they change a little bit and the color changes, especially in the grout here, and how the color enhances coming out. You can see your grout lines a little brighter and a little darker, so it kind of gives you definition on where your rocks are. So just get them sealed up good, and you can see how the color of the rock changes slightly.